Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. We're going to be looking at scopes in the locksmithing sense of things. We're going to be looking over electronic scopes, fiber scopes, borescope, endoscope, and a few others. Okay, so what I want to really put out there in this video is we're just looking over a few scopes. I'm not the best safe cracker in the world. I have done the course, I have done this, I have cracked a few safes in my time. I'm not the best. I give that title to the person on YouTube who can crack a four-wheel with two four-wheels within 5 minutes on a bank vault on Guinness World Records. That bloke is awesome. Watch that video if you're into seeing who the best is, because in my books I can't do that. But what I can do is I can crack a safe, and certain tools I do use along the way. These type of tools here that I'm showing you now, this is a very cheap one. This was from Audi. They've got like a new model which I also have. It's good for looking around corners, it's good for going down the deposit slot, things along those lines. The actual end of it is really chunky. You're talking about 16mm right there. You turn it on, the resolution is nasty. You can take a photo, like it does work. Okay, it's not an awesome tool. It runs on battery power. It has your SD card, USB on the side, a few other things like this. Why you would use one of these type of tools is because, one, they're cheap and accessible. Look, if you break one, you lose one, you just go out and you buy another. I got this off my father just to look down a wall cavity actually, and he hasn't asked for it back, so I'm kind of stuck with it. But as a borescope, it does come in handy to look around things. You've got to really remember that top nozzle is about 16mm, so you're not really getting what you want. If you're happy cracking safes, drilling 16 to 20mm holes, then yeah, you could probably do something with it. But for safe cracking and locksmithing work, the only times it's really going to save you is when you got to look around the corner, going through the deposit slot to see what's what and what's where. Yes, you can use it, and it does work. It comes with a few little magnets, hooks, things like that. I recently cracked a safe with a deposit slot, and I used such a tool. Actually, from the shop that I was working at, they actually sold such a borescope, and I didn't have this one with me, so I thought $60, I'll just buy one to do the job. And I was able to see that the keys were actually in the safe, so I could fish them out, and it was great. Worked for me brilliantly. Okay, so this type of tool, is it worth the $60 investment? Yes, it is. In certain times, certain things you want to look down here or look down there, yes it is. But would I use it to crack a safe? Probably not. Okay, and the resolution on it is poor at best. Okay, $60 to $100 borescope, we've covered that one. Now this is Provision. Sorry, everything's a bit of a mess this week, mainly because it's been a busy week, so the bench and all the rest is a mess. Provision. Okay, this one here is long, from the US. How long? I would say over a meter 20. The reason I bought this particular scope, and it cost me about $600 when it came out because it was a new thing, is because it was a fiber scope. And I'll open it up and I'll show you what I mean. It's called a fiber scope because it actually transmits light through the fiber. The previous one we looked at had a camera on the end, transmits its vision through two electrical cables, such as just a pair of figure 8 or something along those lines. Camera down the end, supply voltage, get your video signal back. That's what you're kind of looking at, and that was pretty low resolution. So when you use a fiber scope, the resolution can be a lot better depending on your actual fiber stream. Now this is the one here. Now this is a piece of optical fiber. Here it starts off here, Provision, and this is a piece of optical fiber which goes all the way down to the tip. Now when I push this button here, if the batteries are in there, and the batteries are gone dead, you actually turn on the LEDs inside there. When you rotate this nozzle here, it allows you to get a zoom in. As you can see, it's moving, moves up, moves down, allows you to get a zoom in. So basically what's happening is, here you've got batteries in here. It has a light source. When you push the button, it applies the light into the fiber cable. You are then able to look through the top of the fiber cable, coming out down to this little shaft right here. Now this end part right here, this is a Provision 636. this end part here, I'll just get my verniers because it's important that you get some sizes on this. Probably should have done that from the start. If I can find my verniers. I just put batteries in them too. Come on, verniers, where are you? Verniers, where are you? I've always got verniers and today I need them and they are hiding from me. Okay, no verniers today, I'm going to have to use a ruler. Okay, so the diameter of this fibre right here, or in millimetres, we're talking about 6 mil, 5 to 6 mil. This shaft is 5 to 6 mil. So can you crack a safe with this type of tool? Yes, you can, but it has some disadvantages. I have cracked a safe with this. I cracked a big Chubb safe and it took me a little while. It wasn't the best tool I've ever used. It was hard on vision. Illumination was a big problem. Depth and driving on the end. You see how flexible this is? The last thing you want to do is do a 90-degree bend. If you go like this, you're going to break the fibers inside. So you want to kind of keep it looped, like as it is, straight or bent, but you never want to get a 90-degree kink in it, otherwise you're going to start to lose resolution. What I actually had to do to get the safe open was I actually had to get a piece of rod like this. This is welding rod, this is copper, and I had to saddle it on the side so that this would stay straight. And I did that all the way down to the end. I drilled my hole, I was able to go into the safe just like so, and it was basically hit and miss. Okay, so the reason it's hit and miss is because if my hole was off or here, I would then have to bend this in a big loop, come around and try and get to where I need to be. So very undesirable, hard to use. Yes, it did work. You know, have I seen my return off this particular thing for $500–600? I would say no. I bought it originally to try and do car door locks, get down there, read that code off the driver's side door and things like this, but it never really worked out. You can get little parts for the end of it which have like a little 90-degree angle on the side, but unfortunately they kind of don't work. The lighting resolution is very low, so it's very hit and miss, this particular scope. I still keep it around. Look, I've paid for it. I might get some use out of it later on, and as long as you're drilling a straight hole to get to where you need to go to, then this scope might be for you. I mean, now they've come down in price. You pick them up for a couple of $100, no problem. So where do we go from here? You know, when you're cracking a safe, here's a safe lock, you need to actually see what's going on. If you're looking at it from this distance, you can't see as much as you need to. Where you want to be when you're cracking a safe lock is right on the money. See what's going on. Or you want to be coming in through the change key hole. Where is the change key hole on this? Chinese rubbish. Okay, anyway, you need to be exactly where you need to be. You need to be able to see these parts right here. You need to be able to see them. You need to be able to see them turning so that you can start to manipulate it to get it to where you want to be. Okay, so what is the best borescope that I've ever seen? Well, one of the best ones I've ever seen, I bought one recently, and well, not recently, about 6 months ago or so. Here it is here. Comes in a large case, and that's for a reason, because they are extremely expensive. A good borescope from this brand will set you back over $100,000. So if I can get it open, yep, there we go. Okay, Olympus medical grade. Being the doctor that I am with my PH key, this is what I came up with. Now, I bought this for a number of reasons. One, it was at an auction. Two, it was late at night. And three, it seemed really good at the time. So I bought this. I've seen one of these in action, actually. I went to an ear, nose and throat specialist, and he was just playing around with his borescope, basically jam it in through your nose, come out through your mouth. And I thought, what type of borescope is this? I thought, you know, a borescope like this I've got to have, because one, here's the reasons. One, it's got more maneuverability. Two, high resolution. Three, you can put it through a camera, you can record it onto a VCR, DVR, you can record your footage. So there's all these other kind of things it does. It also has options to maneuver or manipulate at the end of your scope. This has never been heard of in the locksmithing industry. So I thought, well, I'm going to try it. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to actually purchase this ultimately expensive borescope, and I'm going to see how it applies to the locksmithing in everyday use. To date, we don't crack a lot of safes, so I haven't had a lot of use with it, but when the time does come, I'm going to be happy to break out this tool and start to use it. Now I just want to take you through. At the moment it looks like a complete mess, okay, which is fine. This kit, and I'm going to say it right now, you buy it brand new, you're talking 50, 60, 100 sort of $1,000. You buy them second hand, 5, 6,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever you get, wherever you're lucky. And that's basically what it is. Wherever you're lucky, if you can get one. So I got one. So I went through, and this is what it came through from auction. You know, I've got some caps. These ones here, they fit onto the end of a camera. So I can use my digital SLR camera, attach that there, put this over the top of the borescope like this, put this over the top, put that there, and I can take a nice picture, or I can take a nice image using maybe 18 megapixel sort of camera and get some really nice shots. Came with three type lens adapters. There they are there. Now I haven't used this in a professional thing, so I'm pretty much giving you the rundown on the product, not in a professional type of use, but I can see clearly from what I'm going to show you, and you'll see it too, that this particular apparatus absolutely wipes the floor with the rest of the borescopes I've ever used. The previous borescopes I've used, I've showed you, they're the cheap one. Then you've got the ProVision, which is the expensive one, but this is so much more above. And the reason I'm showing it to you is because you know, you're probably not going to get the chance to use these on a safe, and if you do, well, good for you. It's probably going to make your job a lot easier. Now this right here is an endoscope, I believe the correct name. I could be wrong. Endoscope, borescope, whatever you want. You look through this side, you can see what's on this side. This one's here about 10 mil, and you can see the end of it there. It doesn't project light. Now this type of device here is a fixed shaft. It doesn't project light. This little part here is where the light gets spliced into the fiber, and it goes down through here. You look through this side here, and I'm sure there's your adjustment. You can start to focus. So even that right there, if you were, let's say, drilling through the back of a safe trying to dial up through the change key hole, as long as the safe wasn't any bigger than this, and you could drill a 10 or 12 mil hole, I reckon you'd have a pretty good chance. The illumination on this bad boy here is excellent. Once you get that light going into this part here, you get a really good image, and that's what it's all about. If you can't see what you're doing, you're not going to get very far. So let's just pop this one here for now. Now there is a lot more here, and I'm not going to show you. We've got some extra bulbs there. I paid $3,000 for this. Okay, when I bought it, I thought I gotta have it, and we're not at that stage yet where I'm going to show you why you have to have it. We're going to just hold out on that because I'm going to walk you through what the physical state of it is. Now there's actually two borescopes here. Now look at that. That looks like the Death Star that you know, Darth Vader's sitting on, and it's coming through space. It's bloody huge. There's my hand there. We have a shaft coming out here. We have a flexible coming out here, and I'm going to walk you through this this side of the flexible. This one right here is our light source. So there's a little fiber optic going through there. That's our light source coming in here. Of course, on the top you've got your vision. You can put that up to your eye, or you could put the camera attachment to it, or you could hook up a recorder or something along those lines. You've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 controls up the top. You've even got another little control here, along with your focus here. So automatically you're starting to see the difference in this type of borescope compared to what the other one was. Now I've got a meter of shaft here. I have a cover on the end of it, and on the end of that you can see a couple of little, looks like a happy face, eye, and a thing. So light is going to be coming through this point right here, and then your vision is going to be coming through here. Now this is Olympus medical grade, so this is designed to go where no man has gone before. Okay. Another little quick story. I was doing a job at an endoscopy place the other day, and I said to the bloke, "Oh, your machinery there," and I was just talking to him, saying, "Oh, well, you know, what's a scope like that worth, and what's that doing this and that?" And anyway, I said, "You know, I bought one the other day. I bought one off a little auction site there, and they sent it out to me. But it makes me feel a bit dirty when I use it." And he's there drinking his coffee, and I said, "You know, every time I use it, I've got to wear gloves." And he didn't think nothing of it. And I thought, you know, I know where you put these things. And he looked at me, and this big spray of coffee went all over the place, because basically these type of medical grade equipment, when somebody pays $50,000 to $80,000, it doesn't sit on the shelf. It gets used every day, 10 times a day. And to be quite honest, I pay $2.5 grand for something that's been up in somebody's business. See this? This has gone who knows where. Who knows where, but it's been in somebody's business, I can guarantee you. That is why I am wearing gloves. Why am I wearing gloves? Because I know exactly where this thing's been, and I don't want to go there. And the last thing I want to do after I've used this tool is go have a nice big hamburger and use my hands to eat. I'm going to wash them 3 times and still feel dirty afterwards, because medical grade, you know, you can clean it and clean it and clean it, but if this thing's been up somebody's clacker, you know. So what do you say? You're probably thinking, now you've paid $2.5 grand for something that's been up somebody's clacker, and yes, I have, and there's an absolute good reason for it. There's 2 scopes here. Now I'm going to get you to the point that's going to blow your mind. Okay, you've drilled a hole into the back of the safe. You've gone through steel, you've gone through concrete, you've gone through armor plating, you've gone through all of these things. Now you're working your way with this scope to this lock mechanism, which is sitting here, which has a cover on it. You might still need to drill a hole, or you might need to, you know, try and use the actual change key hole. Now if you're lucky, you've lined up from 1 meter away your bullseye. Now if you can get that bullseye and you can drill a straight hole and your drill doesn't veer off, break, snap, wander when you hit armored plating on an angle, and you actually get to that bullseye, then you can use the ProVision scope. But if you're like everybody else, where stuff happens and you need to correct yourself as you're working to get to where you want to be, then this is why I bought this scope. Have a look at this. Ready? Now that's straight at the moment. I've got multiple controls here. I'm going to start to manipulate this. Look at that. Have you ever seen a scope that can do that? Now let's say that you drilled in and you're not exactly center. You just move it a bit. It gets better. We go down and up, left, right. And this one at the top, what do we do with this one? Oh, that's for holding. Look at that. Look at that. Just to see it move. So I can go, okay, let's say that I want to go diagonally up. Let's see if I can do that. Up, and then I can rotate the other one down, diagonally up, diagonally down. Let's go down to this corner here. Oh, I'm not used to it yet. Down, and then down there. Look at that. Ever seen a borescope do that, giving you 1080p? No. And it's probably even higher than 1080p. It moves like a worm. Look at that. That is an excellent borescope. I don't care that it's been up somebody's date. I really don't, because when I'm on a job and I've got this bad boy, the Death Star in my hand, and I'm looking through here, or I've got it projected on a nice big 21-inch screen, I've got a good chance of doing what I've got to do and see what I've got to see. That is excellent. Okay, so that's my big fatty. That's my fatty. Let's look at skinny, because no matter what, every time there's always a fatty and a skinny. It's always the way. There's an ugly and a cutie. That's the way things work. Now here's once again our light source. This is Darth Vader's little brother. Okay, here's our light source here. This one here we're pushing at even smaller. If you can see that right there, that's smaller. 4 mil. 4 mil hole right there. Okay, now this one, I'm sorry about the presentation. Let me try and bring a sheet so we can identify what we're actually talking about here. Because there's 2 of them there. There's actually 2 of them. This is the one here. Now I bought this for a couple of grand and I got 2 of them, plus I got that endoscope, plus I got a light source, and to me that was an absolute bargain. Granted, I got to wear you know, rubber gloves every time I touch it, but I'm okay with that. So this one here I'm using about 1 meter as well. It's got markings along the shaft. At the end here we've got a little loop of metal. Now what's interesting here is right here you can manipulate this loop just by pulling this in and out. You can also buy aftermarket devices, I believe off Alibaba and things, to go in there and be this new loop. Used for, I don't know, reefing out a tumour or doing what you need to do inside a body of some description. But that is not a bad feature to have. I mean, it's probably not necessary, I'd probably just reef it out. But once again, if you look at the end of it, see that? 2 holes and a fibre in there, and we're getting an awesome view. If I get the chance and I get to plug this up and show you the view on an actual screen, I'll do that for you. Moving down along this part here, the T-section is always, and see how that is? With such an expensive equipment, it never should be in such a tight knit knot. This is my light source here, okay? Now I'll put that into my light source, which is basically just a huge halogen that's going to pump light through here, bring it through here, send it down the line, allowing me to look through here. I have focus adjustment, I have my cap that I can put on. Now I just want to show you the end on this one too. Look at that. Woo! Down, up, down, up, down, up. Banana pen, pineapple pen. Here we go. Okay, now we've got this one too. So this particular one here doesn't have the movement of the other larger one. It has up and down. It's very small, and you can pretty much kind of manipulate it by rotating it. So it's awesome. You've got large grip here. You can see it. Sorry, I'm wearing black gloves. You know why I'm wearing black gloves. We all know where this has been and things like that. So anyway, these borescopes here are the cream of the crop. The best I could afford. The best I'll ever get. Have I made my money from them? No. Will I be using them on cracking safes? Yeah, I will. But only when that opportunity arrives. So now that we've gone over the scopes and things like that, I'm going to show you the power source now. So I'm going to be hooking up the power source. So yeah, just recapping real quick. If you've got a 5mm hole and you're drilling through a safe and you're aiming for this particular thing, and you've got something that's rigid, solid and adjustable on the end, you've got an awesome chance of getting to where you want to be. Now this is the power source right here. It's old, it's chunky, and I've had to repair it because it came broken. I needed to put in a new fuse and things like that to get it working. I'm actually going to power this up for you because I want to show you, you know what, I'm going to try and show you down the lens of what I can actually see, because when you compare it to anything that you've seen with those cheaper ones and things like that, it's most impressive. Now with these ones here, they all come with this type of setup here. So I'm going to start off with by using the big one. So I'm just going to push this into its hole. Have a little clip in. It's clipped in. A little spring retainer. Low. It has an adjustment for the amount of light that I would like to send through. You don't need to see that. Not important. So this is what we're talking about here. We're going to use the Death Star Darth Vader one here, and you can already see it's sort of illuminating. Look at that. Look at that. How much light is that shining? Now if you're in any dark safe, there's no light in there. They're built to withstand fire, they're built to withstand theft. There is no light. So getting light, being able to get a visual and then get light in at the same time is kind of like asking to have your cake and eat it. You can't get both. You know, but now with this flexible type shaft, you can. So here we are here. That's the light. Move it left, move it right, move it up, move it down, and you can clearly see on how much light that's producing. Look at that. That is beautiful. That's why it comes with a massive, huge box as a power source, like a light source. And I'm okay with that. Replaceable bulbs. Now I'm going to put this down over here so we can try our luck and see if we can identify something through here. I'll just use my own eye. Yeah, I can. So that's pretty rough. I apologize for that, but there you go. You can see that. See how clear you can see that right there? Now that image can be actually zoomed in, blown up, and things along those lines. Now if you're looking at what you're looking at right now, sorry I can't keep it still, if you're looking at that and you need to go left, you just simply manipulate left or right, and you can see how it's moving down there. This is the borescope. This is the mother of all borescopes. Yes, it's been up, we don't want to know where it's been, but here's the thing, if this can do what I'm showing you it can do, this borescope is the best. And I bought it, it was a couple of grand, it was expensive, but I look at it this way. I'm a locksmith now, I've been doing it for 20 years, I'm probably going to do it for another 20, and when it comes time and we have to use it on a particular safe that's extremely hard, and we're going for, you know, a kind of forced entry, where we have no choice but to start drilling holes and things, this can save you. If you can actually see what you're doing, I mean, locks and safes are funny, because you look at a safe now, and one thing I must warn people about is asbestos. All this cheap crap coming out from China is full of asbestos and concrete and rubbish. Wear a dust mask, because you don't know what they're using as a fire rated material, and asbestos can be found in safes these days. With that being said, there's also sometimes other things that you need to be aware of when cracking safes. Glass, relockers, fibers, armor plating, you name it. And when you have such a scope, it allows you to, how do you say, penetrate the safe in a safe place, such as the back or the side, get yourself a bit of an idea, or go through the normal methods you want to go through, the front, the side, and it allows you to basically check everything out. With a safe, with a borescope like this, I could, if I was in the smallest of cavities, I could find where the relockers are. I could use this shaft as a measuring tool to roughly guess where my relockers are if the glass had been broken. So I can't do this with the other borescopes, and when I look at it as a £2 investment, I look at it as, well, as a professional, if I'm on a job and it's not working and I've hit some huge snag, such as breaking glass relockers or on an unfamiliar safe, or something's gone extremely wrong, and yes, I have the knowledge to manipulate this lock here, this lock, the safe lock, four-wheeler, I have the knowledge to do that. But if this is broken, or there's something else funky going on inside the safe, what do I have to do? You know, I mean, what am I going to grind a big hole? The smaller the hole, the more the professional. And with a device like this, it just gives you another tool in your toolbox to go in and say, look, I'm going to drill one hole, and I'm going to have a look around, and I'm going to see where we go from there. It's basically a much better option. I mean, if you're using this this type device here, I think you should probably take up another industry, because this is 16mm big, it's flexible, it gives you a really crappy image, doesn't give you much light, and you're basically just fishing. You know, when you go fishing, you know, it's patience, it's time, and a bit of technique. So when you're kind of fishing, when that's your professional job and you're fishing, it's not a very good image all round. It's a lot of frustration, and tools, you know, people say clothes make the man. Well, tools make the tradesman. They really do. If you've got the right tools and you can do things, then yeah. As far as using this in a professional thing, I'll be honest, I have not used this to crack a safe yet, but I'm waiting for the time when I can. And as you can see, a device like this, look at that. Never seen it before used in the locksmithing type of avenue, but I can tell you right now, just looking at it, that baby's going to work nicely. and as long as you look after it, a tool like this could last many years. This tool right here is probably 10 to 15 years old. I don't know what it was used for. Actually, that's a lie. I know exactly what it's used for. It's either been in animals or humans. It's medical grade. So this thing right here, that's why I wear gloves. I know exactly where it's been. When I was in the doctor's surgery there, I was actually replacing a door closer, and they had a lady on the bed there, naked, you know, with a big blue gown all over her, and I'm there doing a door closer in the other operating theatre, you know, and yeah, I could basically see where this was going and what they were doing with it. And they do that all day, every day. There's either two ways into the human body. It's the top or the bottom, and they use these things all the time to go through the throat or through the other way. And you know, they're for medical, they're awesome, and they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on this equipment. This equipment right here is $100,000. I wouldn't have bought it if this was broken in any way, because I knew I could never fix it. I wouldn't have bought it if it didn't have all the adapters. But when I saw it and it came with the adapters for the screen, came with two, not one, but two. One large one, one small one. When I look at the large one, I say, that's my puppy right there. I'm going to use that all the time. When I look at the small one, I think, well, I'll start off with that, and if things go bad, I'll move up to the big one. The big one has more access, more controls and things. And yeah, I can't wait to actually pop this on a monitor and get it in use. But we don't do a lot of safes. It's very time poor as a locksmith, so having safes and having time to crack safes takes a bit of time. But that's our video for today. I wanted to run through borescopes. People around the world, I'd like to know your thoughts on this. Do you have medical grade borescopes? Have you used them? What borescopes do you use? Please leave comments down below. I'd like